I just felt so alone and so empty, like these drugs took everything from me. I didn't know what like a real family per se was, or who I wanted to be or anything. Like I just wanted to do what was cool, and I thought like drinking and hanging out with boys was cool. So I started smoking weed when I was like 13. Got drunk for the first time when I was 12. Started experimenting with other stuff as I got older. When I was 16, I met a guy and I thought I was in love. He was not the man that I thought he was, and we started doing heroin. He told me it was coke, and I believed him, and it wasn't. It was heroin. My life kind of took a spiral downward. I thought I had a grip on the drug use, and I didn't. Me and my ex started selling, and we were actually purchasing it from my biological father. It got really, really bad in November of 2010. We had been really trying to straighten out our lives because he was getting ready to do some time from when we got raided. So we were trying to get our affairs in order for him to go to prison and me be taken care of and get my act together while he was gone. He had came home from the bar. I was sleeping. He had gone through my cell phone and found text messages between me and our drug dealer, and he found out that I was cheating on him. Completely beat me to a bloody pulp. I ended up in the hospital that night, but after he left, I felt like my world was over. I thought without him I was nothing. I needed him to survive, and he had become my drug. And I started shooting up heroin, something I had vowed I would never do. I would do anything as long as I could stick a needle in my arm and feel better. They sent me to an inpatient rehab. The first day I got out, I overdosed. I lost my hearing for 24 hours, and I thought I was gonna end up in a mental institution. So when I woke up, I started doing as much dope as I could handle. And I remember sitting in a corner, rocking, and just begging God to take my life. A few days later, when I was with a couple friends, I overdosed a second time, and they had to use Narcan in order for me to wake up. I didn't think I was ever gonna make it out of addiction. And I would try to detox on my own, but I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't stay sober. After the overdoses and stuff, the following summer, I had gotten an OWI and a possession. I've been locked up ever since.
We have to go through an A&E process at TCI. It's like pretty much a 24-hour lockdown for 24 hours a day for 3 months. I met Danielle about a month after I went into that, just bumping into her at lunch, and you know, she was over the drugs and guns, which she was trying to portray herself as. You know, that's all she was trying to be, a little badass and in this cute little body. Like, I wasn't buying it. We found out like a week before we came to MWCC from TCI that we were going to be in the same group together. We started off together.
The Earned Release program is a 6-month gender-based alcohol and other drug addiction program. It deals with all sorts of areas of life.
Just we're lost souls, lost puppies in, the doghouse, really. Like, we didn't know what direction we were going in.
There's a lot of unknowns to them. Is my family going to understand and respect the changes I've made? Are they going to be supportive of my recovery plan? Am I going to be able to stick to the recovery plan? I think it's more about just understanding that we change on a daily basis, whether you're incarcerated or not, whether you have an addiction or not. People change. And I think giving people space to do that and allowing them to transcend where they've been is a really important part of the process, especially for people who want to be supportive of, their changes.
You saved my life. This place saved my life. They cared. When I didn't care about myself, they still did. And that's a good feeling. So I just want to say thank you.
I would just tell you, Danielle, that, I've watched you grow and I've kept my distance just to let you kind of spread out and have your own obstacles in here through the people that you were surrounding yourself with. And I've always been, like the big sister waiting in the corner, trying not to interfere with anything. But I need you to know that I've always, had you in eyesight. Like, I always knew what you were doing or where you were, not trying to be nosy. And you're so young, you're just a pup. So make the most of it, and you know where to find me. And you won't find me here. So I love you, girl. Be good. Fight the good fight. It's worth fighting.
I want Culvers so bad, but I've also been really thinking how I just want to run in the grass and play in the grass and smell the fresh air and not have to wear shoes in the shower. To be with my family, just to be human, I guess, spend time with all the people who have never given up on me. Show them that I'm thankful and I'm grateful and I want to be a part of the family again.
Or do we criticize the buds for not being open when they appear? We stand in wonder at the process taking place and give the plant the care it needs at each stage of its development. They're glowing, so they're in their element because they get all the attention. Ashamed of who I was, but I want to be proud of who I am. Second chance is getting the opportunity to live.